Hey guys, Maddie here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I wanted to do a quick, maybe quick, coaching video by request. People asking me to get this information out there. And so I figured I would start with not a tip or a trick, but something that I see happen very often when I'm coaching people. I've been so fortunate in the last few years to do seminars, lots of one-on-one coaching, just getting to meet and work with many people in the longbow world, the Olympic recurve world, barebow, of course, and traditional archery across the globe, which is so nice. But the cool thing I'm seeing and getting to do is watch mistakes. And what's cool about seeing mistakes is that when they repeat themselves, I can pass this information on to others with the hopes that you will be able to utilize what I have seen and make the change for yourself. The one I want to talk about today, and again, I am floored by how much I see this particular mistake happen, is anchor point. Now, not that people are using the wrong anchor point or not using a correct anchor point, but they're not using the anchor point that they say they actually are. Not only that, most people are doing this one particular thing over and over again, and that is they have a floating anchor. Typically in this world, a floating anchor just means your hand doesn't actually touch your face. It just kind of gets out there and people let go. I see that more often than not with people that snap shoot, people that are standard longbow recurve shooters, hunting recurve shooters. They snap shoot, they draw, they let go. They never actually touch their face or some anchor point. The cool thing about getting to work with barebow shooters is most of them are kind of settled and they have an anchor, and most of them do one particular thing. What they do is they take that webbing of their hand and put it behind their jaw. We see that as a standard in what we do as an anchor. Most people pretty much do this, but the mistake people are making is they're not doing anything with their fingertips. Fingertips need a job. What I mean by that is the fingertips actually need to touch something on our face. So what prompted me to do this was last week I met with a large group. There were 20 some odd shooters. And out of all of them, not one person actually did something with their fingers. So when I went through the group and I asked them what their anchor was, they most of the time just said, well, I hook my thumb around my jaw. Well, that leads to a huge mistake. The mistake is you can hook around the jaw, which is fine, but what happens with your fingers? When you don't do anything with your fingertips, you can actually float. This is what I'm referring to as a float. You can touch high, you can touch low, you can touch back, you can touch forward, causing lefts, rights, maybe a collapse, not enough expansion. These fingertips need to do something. Me personally, my anchor, I hook my jaw just like most people. I actually use the ridge of my index finger along my maxillary bone, which is this bone right here under your eye or in your cheek, maxillary bone. I wedge that finger up on that bone or underneath it, and I touch the corner of my mouth. Just like that. This is a soft anchor. What I do is a soft anchor. It is not ideal. Ideal is a hard anchor. If you think of an Olympic recurve shooter, I have a tab here. Olympic recurve shooters, split finger, one on top, two on bottom. We draw, we get bone on bone contact. So our index finger along the jawline. The string usually touches our chin and our nose, and that's our anchor. We have multiple points of contact, which is ideal. I'll demonstrate with this right here. I have a Java Man Impala. And what I'm doing with this, I'm going to draw, split finger, nothing changed, tip my hat a bit. I'm going to draw, get close to the camera. Bone on bone contact with my index finger. My jaw, chin rather, is on the string, and so is my nose. Very gently. We don't put an immense amount of pressure on the string to cause influence downrange. Now, with a barebow tab, here I have my Yoast, and you will see, this is a tab I actually use. You will see that there is hardly any leather on there. There's the base of the plate. There's the leather. Look how much of my fingers are coming off. Now, those of you who know me, or I've spoken to, or I've taught, or worked with, you will know that I have a very shallow hook. My hook in barebow, longbow, recurve, is extremely shallow. I do not have a deep hook. I do not curl my fingers over this tab as it was designed to do. I do not do that. I shallow hook. I don't know if I can get it on camera, but I will attempt. Tip my head again. Underneath. There's my hook. Quite shallow, quite long. And there's my index finger on that maxillary bone. It's exactly what that is. Now here's the key. Again, give your fingertips a job. Give them something to touch. The harder the surface, your canines, best if you can feel it through your lip. And what I mean by that is you don't want to distort your facial structures just to find an anchor. Distorting your facial structures kind of distorts your vision as well. Just squint, just make a funny face and look in the distance and watch how your vision changes. When you draw that bow and you anchor, your face should have no expression. Zero expression. At anchor and at shot. I'll get to the details of the shot at a later date, but I'll give you an example. When I shoot, when most people that are top level shooters shoot, there's no face at and past the shot. In other words, it should look like this. No facial change. People that go like this start out with a facial change. And then there's people that take the shot and look or peek, make a face, blink. Those movements cause movement downrange. It's just fact. So back to the fingertips. If I take my tab, and you don't have to do this, but I highly recommend you cutting your tab to the curl of your fingers. You would have to just work with this and practice it. I cut so much off that I can actually feel my fingers on the corner of my mouth. I hook that string, draw the bow, crook of my hand, thumb, on the back of my jaw, underneath my jaw, index finger under my cheekbone, and I touch the corner of my mouth. Again, ideally, if you can feel the canine or the gap between your canine and your molar, that's a great spot to be. It is a hard, bony surface. It will never move. The downside about a soft surface or a soft anchor like the corner of your mouth, it moves. So again, just keep your mouth closed, normal face, draw anchor, mouth shut. Perfect. So that's it, guys. I just want to put that information out there because, again, many people are doing this incorrectly. So many people that I had to make a video about it. So I want everyone to be on the same page. Find an anchor, make it detailed, make it specific, and do it every single time. That's it. And you know, the number one thing is always make it look good. I appreciate you being here. Please like, please subscribe. The more subscribers we have, the more videos I'll put out. Thanks for being here. Peace.